Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I love recording videos during the weekend because I can pause, I can get a little more time to go back to my old recording schedule, which honestly, my content in some ways hasn't dropped that much in terms of a number, but the amount of time that I spend recording has dropped by 90%. The time that I spend interacting with the community has dropped by 90%. Unfortunately, it means I'm not able to respond to as many comments on YouTube, but whether they're positive comments or the most hateful comments, I still appreciate that my videos cause people to comment. Because, believe it or not, that means that the video still impacted someone enough to to feel something. I always say you learn about yourself when you feel emotions. And you might hate something, you might hate me, but that's causing you to go through the experience of learning. And that is maybe something that you wouldn't care about if you weren't impacting someone for better or for worse. And I think that's a proof. It's kind of true what they say. If nobody ever hates you, then have you made enough of an impact? Because you know when people start demanding you stop making videos that you've opened up enough of a reputation somewhere that people have taken notice. And usually it's just also a form of jealousy because people think, this guy is terrible, and yet he has a YouTube channel that so many people watch him. I should have a YouTube channel where so many people watch him because I'm way better than this guy. And my response to that is, you probably are. Just do it. Start your YouTube channel. And if you can hate my channel and that encourages you to start your own YouTube channel, then so be it. I woke up this morning to a lot of messages from people who said, Prof, I know you're not in the comments lately, but there's some people who really hate you. And maybe it's because I had a wonderful date night with Israel. Maybe it's because I'm completely rested. But my message to the haters is, I hope I inspire you to start a YouTube channel. I hope you do better than me. I hope you do content that you like more than mine. I hope your channel's more successful than mine. I'm rooting for you. I want to be an inspiration, even if that inspiration is because you realize that you can do it too. That's a really powerful thing. And if my legacy in your life is that you got motivation to try to upload content, and maybe you're going to be really good at it because you thought my content was terrible and it still got views, I'm proud of that. And that might sound crazy to some people, but life is too short to just want praise. Life is all about taking risks. And I know that there are videos on this channel every day that are quote unquote safe videos, like crystal openings or even discussing offers. And then I know that there are videos that I take risks where I talk about forum posts that half the community thinks one thing and half the community thinks the other thing. And when I discuss it, I know immediately half the comment section is going to hate the video, because whatever stance I take is going to tick off half the audience. And there are people out there, consultants, who will say, YouTubers, don't do those videos because you don't want to alienate half your audience. And if you take a stand, you alienate half your audience. But at the same time, I'm also going to be objective and say, hey, I get this perspective. I don't agree with it, but I also don't think that that makes this person a horrible person for having a different opinion. Now, obviously, there are ways that you can phrase it that cross a line, and I don't support those comments, but the majority of people, even on the forums, that get labeled as awful human beings, I see them have posts that I may not agree with, but they're respectful, they're articulated well, and they're just trying to advocate for something that may or may not be a minority opinion. And again, I'm not saying this as a justification for the extreme side of the comments where profanity is used and hate speech is used and threats are used. I'm against all of that. But I dislike if there is a groupthink opinion on the forums that honestly isn't always the best opinion, but it's just easier to say the thing that goes with the mob. And then one person chimes in and says, I don't know if you've thought about this, but this is my perspective. And it's an articulated opinion that is, like I said, well thought out, and then they're just automatically crushed for it. I'm not afraid in a YouTube video to say, look, I don't agree with this person, but I'm also thankful that that comment made it on the forums because it's a marketplace of ideas. And even though this is a private company that can control public comments in a way that you maybe couldn't if it was a public space, it's still an important part of the discussion for the community to improve as a whole. And that's how I view my channel. people might view it as the McDonald's of MCOC. They might view it as content that comes out too fast and feeds people too quickly. But you get my honest opinions in it. And I don't think people watch my channel half the time because of the screen behind me. Because what I'm doing on the screen is kind of irrelevant. And here, I've literally just had Morbius and Werewolf by Night just staring at you from the home screen. Ooh, look at that content. But it's because of my thoughts. Because people know that they will hear my honest opinions, and they value that I'm not afraid to be honest and authentic. And one of my favorite comments is, Prof, I love your channel even though I often disagree with you. That's the best comment you can give me, because it means it's not a YouTube cult, it's a YouTube channel. I want one C over the other. But also, I know that I'm able to get you thinking about things that maybe you haven't thought about. And that's the gift of the channel. It doesn't matter how much revenue or how many views it gets. It's about the concept of thinking. And if you think that I am wrong and that you are right, I love when you say that, and I'm not even disagreeing with you. Because I don't view that. That's like a great example of I don't view that as hate. Now, if you say, if this guy makes one more video, I want to burn his studio to the ground, yeah, that crosses a line. And yes, I've had comments like that over the years where I think, really? You could have dialed it back and it would have been fine. But either way, my message to my haters is, use this hate as motivation to start your own channel and be better than me. I will root you on, because that's what life's about. It's about getting people inspired to take risks and take chances. And if you can do a better job, go for it. I'll be rooting you on all the way.